Welcome back to another episode of Get Comfy. I'm your host, Mike.
And I am your other host, Pat.
And today we're talking about...
D&D.
Yeah, baby. So get your dice ready, the dice tray out, and get your fingers covered in Cheetos, because this is Dungeons & Dragons, baby.
Let's get comfy.
We're talking about Dungeons & Dragons.
Yes.
Right? A topic that's near and dear to my heart.
And it was near and dear to my heart back in 2007 and 2008 with a stint in 2011 and 12.
I guess before we go too far into this, we should announce that we don't have youngster Dan today. We have, God, what we name him?
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. Like,
That's when you introduce
that
yourself.
creature.
Hi, I'm Mr. Anderson.
Thank you.
You can feel the vibrato in his voice intimidating us, can't you?
Easier just to chime in anytime we talk about bringing up something. But I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was 12.
Okay.
And I swear to God.
I'm pretty excited about this episode because you are like, you know a lot about D&D.
Oh, I have to do it. All right.
You got to do it.
I got a plug. I run a Forgotten Realms page on Facebook called Forgotten Realms Archive. We are 10,000 members strong, and we have multiple authors who write for Forgotten Realms in the group. Ari Salvatore, Ed Greenwood, Aaron M. Evans, Richard M. Baker. They're all part of it, and they all chime in and every now and then.
And I got to say something, too.
Yeah.
You know what you don't run?
What?
A D&D campaign during COVID.
We tried.
We tried. We made characters. We
did.
sat down and you said,
did.
you've entered a town. And we entered that town for 4.5 hours and then we didn't play again.
Well, all right. So this goes right into why D&D is both a very fun game to play, but as a DM is like one of the hardest things ever.
I hate DM. I tried it. It was horrible.
I like playing the Dungeon Master, right? Because it is very fun when everyone is under the notion of like making the story progress, right? So when we made those characters, I should have just said straight up, this is how it's going to happen. But instead I was like, look, the fun thing about D&D is playing however you want to play. So I asked you guys, do you guys want to know each other or do you not want to know each other? And you all were like, nah, we don't want to know each other. And I'm like, so I have 8 characters that I now have to get into one fucking room. And like, that's not going to happen in the first session.
The story begins in the back alley behind the Walmart, where 8 mysterious characters are forming an alliance.
But you don't know each other. You don't know each other. Why
we
would
don't
you
have
form
to know
an
each other.
alliance?
We all show up and it's like, did you guys also get a mysterious envelope that exploded after reading?
That's just not it.
It doesn't because your creativity is not that good, Mike.
No, it is not. I had a great campaign set up.
Give
for
me a
you
like
guys.
if you would like to play that campaign. Mysterious exploding envelopes about circle jerking in the back alley behind the Walmart.
wait, circle jerky?
Yeah, what do you think the envelope said, Mike?
Okay. Well, all right.
Jesus.
To be fair, all
Get
right.
on my level.
See, but it's great though because like I do like the idea of doing the DM because me and Anderson, oh my god, dude, we shoot each other ideas constantly. We had an idea when Planeswalker came out with its new setting that we were going to make like a Kingdom Hearts style like game, like because Planeswalker you literally travel from world to world on ships, so like you would use the mechanics to make your own gummy ship and you would sail to different worlds and we would make each world like a different like thing, like you'd have like a Doctor Who world, stuff like that, like
Oh, that'd be fun.
and then we were also thinking about doing like a Mario's Castle type thing.
Where each portrait went to a different world.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we were going to have Grunkle Stan and what's her name from? Who?
Ida.
Ida. They were going to be merchants in the
Oh,
world.
hell yeah. From Owl House.
Yeah. It is very fun being the DM when like everyone's on the same page. But when no one's on the same page...
No wonder you didn't want to keep playing a campaign with me.
I was like, it's impossible. See, here's the thing. It's not that I don't want to play D&D campaign with you. It's that I need to play D&D campaign with you and other people who are thinking like you. Right? When you have...
Anderson.
Perfect setup. Even throwing Dan, it would work. But when you have people who are like more trying to go into the seriousness of the game...
It does not work.
It doesn't work. And then I'm not saying that the people who weren't playing weren't trying to like be goofy with it as well, but we had a couple people who were like trying to actually have like a DM campaign.
Yeah.
And it's like all right, like you can have like moments in a campaign. One that is near and dear to my heart was when I was 12 years old. My first character was a character named Lindley and Hart, and we got to the end of this awesome area, and there was this like we were surrounded by these tall mountain walls, and like it was like this grass field. There was a river and a bridge that went over it. A knight was standing on the other side, and like every time you tried to cross the river, like cross the bridge, the knight would attack you. Like she would charge at you with a lance, and she would like pretty much knock you over back over the bridge.
Did this knight say knee?
I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is that like we tried everything in our power to like get over this bridge because like there was a against the far wall there was a door that we had to go through to get to the boss. And we tried everything. And then eventually, after you try everything, you start thinking of, like...
Outside the box.
The dumbest shit you can think of.
Do we go under the bridge?
Like, you know, we tried flying over her to see if that... Nothing instigated it. We tried, like, 100 different things. And eventually, I think one of us just rolled a perception roll that finally gave us, like, the insight to finally get past her. And it was just like...
Do you think that was just the DM going, all right, you guys are never going to fucking
figure this
out?
1,000%.
It's like, all right, let's just... Oh, you perceived that... He has a loose string on his scarf.
But then there's moments in D&D that make it so much fun when you have those moments where, like, the DM's like, I have this awesome thing. I, like, blah.
Oh, my God. Okay, so I got one thing I want to say and two things I want to ask.
Right.
So the one thing I want to say is I went to Gen Con one year out in Indianapolis.
I get invited every year. I need to go.
And they had a D&D event where they built a dungeon inside of a dealer's hall and you LARPed it. It was the greatest thing in the world because everyone's character was also random. Like you sat in a chair, they told you like how the game was going to go, and then they're like, by the way, reach under your chair, there's an envelope there, that's your character sheet. So I reached under and I pulled out an orc that had like negative intelligence.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be dumb and break shit. And I had the most fun ever playing that.
Right.
Second thing I want to bring up. What is your ideal real-life D&D party? So, like, for instance, like, Bob Ross. Would he be, like,
a
bard?
If I were to...
Who would you want?
Like, if I were to take real-life people... like
real-life people, assign them a class, what would be your ideal party?
So, like, if I had, like, some cosmic power and I could bend the world to my will, and
Exactly.
I was a DM.
You isekai the fuck out of celebrities.
Everybody, right?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So, first and foremost,
Who's your paladin?
my paladin. Ooh, that's a good one. Can I go with my bard?
Give me your bard.
My
Give me your
bard, first and foremost, would be Terry Crews.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
playing that flute, singing them songs, doing
Yep.
them little dances, but buff as shit, right?
See, I would go Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is your bard.
Yep, with jazz flute from Anchorman.
That is great.
Oh,
I can
no,
see-
fuck. Jack Black. It's easily Jack Black.
Jack Black. No, it's too obvious.
Yeah, but so?
But that doesn't look. You gotta have fun with it. So you make Terry
Okay.
Crews your bard,
Okay.
who's this buff ass dude. You make Jack Black your paladin.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I think we can all agree on who our halfling's going to be, right?
Oh, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Without question.
Like, my thief.
Your thief.
That's a good one. Thief.
Why do I kind of want to just, like, have the cast of Always Sunny?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
be everyone.
Oh yeah.
Because Charlie Day is a thief.
Charlie Day would immediately be.
He's the thief. Either him or, like, Rickety Crickets.
All right, so you just do the cast of all. It's Always Sunny.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we got Danny DeVito as our halfling. We got...
Halfling's not a class.
our
He'd be a rogue.
our rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be
Whatever.
Thank you. I was just immediately
Fuck
just to it.
You say 3 words in this entire episode, and it's proving me wrong.
No, he's 100% right. I'm just like
I love Danny DeVito.
I love
in
Danny
this.
DeVito.
You're gonna get those
No,
comments.
he's not
at
in
the end of
class.
the
He's
video.
just Danny DeVito the halfling.
He is Danny DeVito the halfling. He
Right?
just-
We don't give him.
he
a
doesn't do
class,
anything.
Right? He's classless. Danny DeVito.
He's an NPC that goes around with the party.
100%. You cannot control him. Like, he is the wild card in the group.
I like it.
Or
So
Charlie
he's
Day.
just chaotic neutral.
Wild card.
Wild card.
Every group needs a wild card.
Charlie just goes through every class. Multi-class is a different thing.
He just
everything.
multi-classes everything. So I would make D the bard because it would be
He
the
could
worst.
Mac would be the warrior, I guess.
He would be the warrior. He would 100% be the barbarian warrior.
Yeah. Dennis, I could see being a bard too, just because he's crafty.
I would see him having to be.
He would. The reason he'd be a bard was because so he could hit on things.
He'd be a lawful
Exactly.
evil paladin.
Oh,
He would be a lawful
Okay.
evil paladin. That dude is strict by. Like, I mean, come on. Now.
That guy's a
The way-
sociopath.
he's a
man.
Yeah, he
sociopath.
is.
That is lawful evil to a T. He is. Yeah. He would be your lawful evil paladin. It would be an evil campaign. 100%.
Can we-
But they wouldn't like. But it wouldn't be an evil campaign.
Okay, at least that one would definitely be evil, and the other ones would do evil things trying to be good.
Oh, 100. Like they would be doing a good campaign because they're good people, but it's actually a lawful evil. It's an evil campaign.
Hear me out.
Absolutely.
Hear me out. D plays a rideable ostrich that Dennis just uses as his horse.
I'm fine with this.
Well,
Can
she's a
we
bird.
make? Like,
Stupid
can they
bird.
make that episode? Like
Just the gang plays D&D, and then they
Yeah.
just
Futurama.
guys, we're giving you gold. Do this.
Vin Diesel also has to be in it somewhere because that dude is a diehard D&D fan. I have to give that man respect.
He's going to be an NPC whose family dies in a raid, and he hires us
I'm fine with that
because he's all about family.
he is
What's his name? Jack dude from Magic Mike, not the main guy.
Channing Tatum.
No, not him. The other guy.
The one that plays the Oathbreaker Paladin in real life.
Yeah, he's a huge D&D fan
Yeah.
in real life. Like runs his own campaigns and everything. I can't remember his
I
name.
didn't know that guy. Who's that?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm blanking on it, but I know his.
Yes, Joe Manganelli. Or
I know his thing
Manganelli
is
or
an
whatever.
Oathbreaker Paladin.
Yeah.
This is big class.
This guy is dope. He took a whole room in his house, decked it out to make it look like a dungeon castle and all that stuff.
Who is that?
It's Joe Manganello. He's Deathstroke in DC.
I'm bad at actors and actresses' names.
Watch this guy naked. It's amazing.
I'm fine with it.
Here's my next question.
right.
What is your top D20 moment?
A top D20 moment. So, does that have to be in the D20 or can it be any critical role?
It could be any critical role. Just
Alright.
you're in dire straits. You need to crit this to be able to actually win, or else your whole team is dead.
Okay, so I play thief, right?
Okay.
So I don't really get. I'm not usually the one who makes the. I am the one who saved the day, right? I throw daggers, which do 1d4 plus 2 damage because they're enchanted, right? Like
So you're killing it.
I'm doing 6 damage max.
Which
Right?
your fighter does
on a
sneezing.
double damage 12, which with a fighter with a battle axe it's a 1d12 before even crit goes in. So like yeah, I rolled high on my damage. So I don't really have one of those moments. I do have my quintessential thief moment though.
Okay.
We just beat a dragon, right?
Beat him off.
We beat him off, right?
Yeah, just like
So-
Donkey and Shrek.
Oh, you know it, man. How else? Wait,
No, that's a female dragon.
the female
anyway,
dragon. We messed that up immediately. So we beat this dragon, and we're looking at this dragon horde, and you got to roll for treasure, right? Like see what you found. And my whole group rolled low, right? They were like 20, 30, 40, right? And I shit you not, I was so I go to roll, and so I have to roll separate of my group because I'm a thief,
Okay.
right? So
You're not like
I'm not
involved
trying
in
to
battle.
show them what I'm gonna get. Like I can't. Everyone's playing goodly characters. I play neutral evil, so they're all like, "This is what we got. This is what everything. Check out all these cool things we got, right? So we could split it amongst the party." I'm not. Anything I find, I'm gonna keep what's good for me, and then I could probably sell, and then I'll show them like, "Oh, this is what I found."
Right.
Right. And so I rolled a double odd, right? I'm like, boom, 100%. I'm like, hell yeah, right? And I'm like excited because I'm gonna go roll again for like, because now I'm like I can find an artifact, right? And my DM, like at that moment, he was focused, and then I swear to God, my cousin asks a question because he is a, I'll get into this subject in a second. He is a rule thumper. You know those, don't you?
They're the best.
Yeah, baby. And so he had a question about one of the rules about finding treasure. So my DM looked over at that moment as I picked up my dice after rolling my double lot because I thought he had saw it, right? So I'm shaking again to roll for my artifact, and he goes, "Oh, what did you roll?" And I was like, "I rolled a double lot." And my whole, like, everyone's like, "Oh, come on, man, you can't just pick up your dice." I'm like, what the fuck, right? And, they're all gaslighting me, right? Because it's my fault that, like, you decided to distract him. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I roll again. Double out again. I am like, oh shit, like, I got it, right? I'm like, fuck yeah, man, I got 2 double outs in a row, right? And I'm like, man, it sucks, because that could have been my fucking artifact.
That could have
roll,
been your artifact.
right? Rolled that bitch again. Came out double odd. I was like, I swear to fucking Christ, these dice are not loaded, right? I am like, no, what? And like my DM was like, all right, I gotta check, right? So he picks up the dice, rolls them 29. I was like, bro, I rolled 3 double odds. Like, what are the chances of me doing that? I did want to touch on this though. One thing that sucks about playing D&D, and I know that you've played a bit, but you play with like friends who think like you, doing goofy stuff like this.
Yeah.
Me and Anderson play like actual D&D campaigns where it's like a goal and stuff like that.
I've done both.
Well, no, I'm saying like I've done them as well.
I've probably done more goofy.
You're welcome.
And the one person that always sucks in these moments are what's called rule thumpers, right? They are the type of people who will literally point to any rule in the book and argue why it's a dumb rule when it's against them, but then argue it's a good rule when it's for anybody else's favor.
Yep.
So I know my cousin doesn't watch the show, so that's why I'm fine with like
Ooh,
revealing
call him out
this.
by name.
I'm not. So there have been moments where like we talk about specialization, and so there's specialization and what's the other word? It's proficient. You're either proficient or specialized in a weapon. And we'd always played. I play 2nd edition, right? So THAC0 is the way to go for me. Yeah, 2-hit armor class 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah. We
That's
played,
what I played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played a game of it.
You played a game.
Well, no, back in the day when I actually played a campaign. That's
Oh,
what I
really?
played. Yeah.
Because when I played with you, it was like 3rd mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because 3rd was the big thing. So you either had people coming off of 2, still playing 2, or people who played 3. Nowadays, almost everybody plays 3rd edition or 3.5. People like 5. I haven't touched.
People
it yet.
like 3, like the 3rds. They
3rd
like
is
the
the one
path.
that like the big one, and then 5th edition I've heard is
And
actually
then-
not bad.
5th edition's solid.
Yeah,
I really like 5th.
So he literally had this whole argument like for literally 2 hours about why Josh shouldn't be allowed to specialize and blah should be allowed to be proficient and all this stuff. And we're just like, oh my God, dude, this is how we've been playing since we were 12, right? Like we have good fun campaigns, right? And I bring this up because rule thumpers, man, they are the type of people who will take like when I play D&D, I'd like to get up like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. on a Sunday, and from 11 a.m. until like 8, 9 p.m., you just play D&D
Yeah.
all day, right?
It's like being in a casino. Like you sit in a room with no windows.
Those are great
And then
days.
all of a sudden it's just night outside, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, it's 10:30,
You take a little break for dinner, bring some snacks.
which is
have some
obviously
snacks
order
around.
Domino's pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. But he would literally take like 4 hours out arguing about rules. And I always found it funny because he would always tell me before every session, like, hey, man, don't talk to Mr. Chris about Dungeons and Dragons books, because I got into Forgotten Realms because of my DM. And so, like, I was excited because I was reading the books. I didn't know anyone else had read them. So I was like, cool, let me talk to you, Mr. Chris, about the books. And we talked for a little bit. And then eventually it became like, we're not going to be wasting any time talking about Drizzt, are we? And I'm like, bro, the last 5 sessions, you've wasted like 6 hours over literally the argument about proficient and specialization. Like, he's not going to budge. It's his campaign. It's his rules.
And that's
Accept
the thing.
it.
The DM is
or
God.
just move on, dude.
Yeah.
And I swear.
I do hate to say
I
this,
know.
guys, but we're going to
are.
have to leave you with that nail-biting adventure. But make sure to check us out this weekend as we drop another episode of UnComfy, where me
UnComfy.
and Mike get a little bit more uncomfy and talk more about D&D. So if you like this episode, check it out.
Yeah.
Until then, next time.
Next time.